Hey everyone, welcome back to Health Protocol. Today, we are diving into a spice that's been making a lot of noise in the wellness world. Turmeric. You might have heard claims about its amazing ability to fight inflammation, but let's really dig into it. Is it truly a powerhouse for reducing inflammation? Is it safe to be popping high-dose turmeric supplements? And if we just sprinkle some turmeric in our food, will that actually give us noticeable anti-inflammatory benefits? I'm going to tackle all these questions for you in this video, so let's get right into talking about turmeric. Turmeric is actually a plant that belongs to the same family as ginger. The stems and roots of this plant are ground up into a vibrant yellow powder that's a staple in many Asian cuisines. It's also the key ingredient that gives curry its characteristic color and flavor. Personally, I love cooking with turmeric. One of my absolute favorite dishes is chicken masala. It just wouldn't be the same without that earthy, slightly peppery note from the turmeric. What's really interesting about turmeric is that it contains a naturally occurring yellow pigment called curcumin. This curcumin is not just a coloring agent, it's also used in cosmetics and food coloring. Now, when you look at about 1,000 milligrams of turmeric powder, you'll typically find around 30 to 50 milligrams of curcumin within it. There have been quite a few studies done on animals that suggest curcumin has both antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. And beyond animal studies, various scientific investigations have pointed towards turmeric offering several potential health advantages, with its anti-inflammatory effects being one of the most talked about. The turmeric powder found in spice racks, and the component of it found in supplements, comes from the underground stem of a plant, native to India and Southeast Asia, that is cooked and then ground to create an orange-yellow powder. Long used in Ayurvedic medicine to control inflammation and pain and for upper respiratory infections. Turmeric contains compounds with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. The best known and most studied is curcumin. One big problem with assessing the impact of curcumin is that, in its pure form, the compound is poorly absorbed by the body and is quickly eliminated. A 2016 study reviewed 6 studies that used turmeric or curcumin specifically for arthritis pain, comparing them to either a placebo, glucosamine, or the NSAIDs, ibuprofen, or diclofenac. The dosage of curcumin in the studies varied from 100 milligrams to up to 2,000 milligrams per day. The studies found that curcumin decreased pain significantly compared to placebo, and that it was comparable to ibuprofen and diclofenac in decreasing pain and stiffness. Side effects of curcumin included sore throat, gastrointestinal bloating, swelling around the eyes, and itching. These side effects were more frequent at doses higher than 1,200 milligrams. The authors noted that, while the benefits seen with curcumin were encouraging, the number of people involved was small and the studies had methodological flaws. Further, the longest study in this group lasted only 4 months, so long-term side effects or benefits couldn't be assessed. That hasn't quelled enthusiasm for the compound, however, and the anti-inflammatory effects of it are touted even as a possible Alzheimer's preventive. Amyloid deposits are a telltale sign of Alzheimer's disease, and curcumin has been shown to have anti-amyloid activity. Multiple studies in mice and rats genetically modified to have Alzheimer's have shown that the addition of curcumin to their diets reduced the deposits of amyloid within the brain and decreased the markers of brain inflammation. However, these animal studies used either intravenous or intraperitoneal curcumin, not oral curcumin, so I don't think that the oral pills you find in health food stores would be as potentially helpful. Inflammation, as we've discussed in previous videos, is the body's way of responding to injury, or when it needs to repair things like a broken bone or a torn tendon. However, there are also situations where a person's own immune system mistakenly attacks healthy tissues. These are what we call autoimmune diseases, and rheumatoid arthritis is a prime example. Now, this is where some of the interesting research on turmeric comes in. A comprehensive analysis of 8 different randomized controlled trials actually supported the idea that turmeric, at a dosage of around 1,000 milligrams per day, could be beneficial in managing rheumatoid arthritis. The people participating in these trials reported improvements in things like morning stiffness, how easily they could walk in the morning, and the amount of swelling in their joints after about 3 months of treatment. Interestingly, it seemed that the effects were somewhat comparable to using over-the-counter non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen or diclofenac. If you want to learn more about how NSAIDs work, I have another video that goes into detail about them. Now, pay close attention to this next part, because while turmeric has shown some promise for rheumatoid arthritis, there are a lot of other claims floating around about its use for various other conditions that involve low-grade inflammation, such as heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and even Alzheimer's disease. There has been some initial speculation from laboratory studies that turmeric and its active compound, curcumin, might help reduce inflammation after major surgery. To really investigate this, a well-designed Canadian randomized controlled trial was conducted and published in 2018 by Dr. Garg and his team. They looked at the effects of giving high doses of curcumin to patients before they underwent surgery to repair an abdominal aortic aneurysm in 10 different hospitals across Canada. The patients were given either 2,000 milligrams of curcumin twice a day for 4 days leading up to the surgery, or a placebo, an inactive pill. The researchers then measured 4 different biomarkers of tissue inflammation in the hours and days following the surgery. What they found was quite surprising. There was no significant difference in these inflammation markers between the group that received curcumin and the group that received the placebo. Even more concerning, the group that took curcumin actually had a higher risk of developing postoperative kidney injury compared to the placebo group. This really highlights the importance of rigorous scientific research to validate health claims. This brings up a really important point about supplements in general. When you buy any kind of supplement, it's crucial to remember that they are not regulated in the same strict way that pharmaceutical medications are. So, while a supplement label might state it contains a certain amount of a substance, that might not always be entirely accurate. Manufacturers of natural health products can often sell their products and make claims about health benefits without having to go through the same rigorous regulatory approvals and provide the same level of supporting scientific evidence that would be required for a new drug. If someone decides to try using turmeric or curcumin supplements, it's a good idea to check if they also contain piperine. Piperine is a compound found in black pepper that has been shown to significantly enhance the absorption of curcumin in the body. So, if the curcumin supplement you're considering doesn't already include piperine, you might want to add a bit of black pepper when you take the supplement to help your body absorb the curcumin more effectively. Curcumin may lower your risk of heart disease. Heart disease is the #1 trusted source cause of death in the world. Research. Trusted source suggests that curcumin may help protect against many steps in the heart disease process. Specifically, it helps improve the function of the endothelium. Trusted source, or the lining of your blood vessels. Endothelial dysfunction is a major driver of heart disease. Trusted source. This is when your endothelium is unable to regulate blood pressure, blood clotting, and various other factors. Several other studies also suggest that curcumin can lead to improvements in heart health. In addition, curcumin can help reduce trusted source inflammation and oxidation, as discussed above, which can play a role in heart disease. Now, what about getting curcumin just from your regular diet? Well, the amount of turmeric and consequently curcumin in a typical diet can vary quite a bit depending on the specific products and recipes used. For example, the average Indian diet is estimated to contain around 2,000 milligrams of turmeric per day, which would provide approximately 16 milligrams of curcumin per day. Compared to the doses used in some of the researched studies, this dietary intake of curcumin might be relatively low. Are there any potential side effects associated with turmeric and curcumin? It's important to be aware that high doses or long-term use of turmeric can sometimes cause gastrointestinal issues, which can be similar to the effects sometimes seen with NSAIDs. Therefore, it's generally not recommended to take doses of turmeric exceeding 2,000 milligrams per day without consulting a healthcare professional. Please keep in mind that the information I'm sharing in this video is for educational purposes only. If you have any specific health concerns or a medical condition that requires advice, please always talk to your own doctor. And in case of any medical emergency, please don't hesitate to go to the nearest hospital or emergency room. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted whenever I upload new videos. There's also a share button right here, so you can easily share this video with anyone you think might find this information helpful. I have many other videos on various health-related topics on my channel, so feel free to explore them. You can also connect with me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.